What is up, guys? Trust back here with another video. Today we're going to be doing our Madden 22 wish list. Also, doing sounded so weird coming out of my mouth. That was awkward. Madden 22 wish list, as of course you see the Derrick Henry linked, it leaked. My bad. Leaked what cover picture, I believe.
Cover, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
as you guys probably saw the video on the cover, for Madden 22.
Give me to check
Definitely
it
going to
out
be
though.
interesting. If you guys didn't see that, go check it out. But yeah, going on to our Madden 22 wish list, there's a lot of things. So this can kind of be a part one if you guys want a part two, or if you want us to go in depth a little bit more, please let us know down in the comments. Anyway, going on to the first one, we got more realistic CPU gameplay. To start this off, the CPU is just check down, check down, down. So it gets boring over time, and it's not really fun to play against. If you put
Tight
like,
ends and running backs all day.
yep,
And slant
um,
routes.
slant routes, curl routes, drags, flats, it's boring. Um, if
No
we
real
could get,
bombs, no flies, no boosts.
yep, if we could get them to throw the ball down the field a little bit more, take some more shots, defense will become more fun. Offensively, I don't really have too many issues with the CPU other than the fact that they just react to the ball way better than your defense does, which is really, really dumb. Um, Other than that, I mean, CPU gameplay is okay, I guess. Those are the main points for me to touch on for CPU gameplay and why it's not really realistic in Madden 21. Any thoughts, Adrian, or do you want me to go to the next one?
Yeah, next one, I agree with everything you said there.
Two online users on the same team. We got two different points here. Adrian, I'll let
Mm.
you say yours first.
Okay, I'd like to have one line head-to-head mode where you can have two players play on the same team, or really three, I guess. Basically, MUT squads, but in an exhibition game online that could be ranked as well. Because me and Gavin, we obviously make YouTube videos with Madden. That's our niche. That's our thing. We'd like to be able to play together against players, but unfortunately, we do not have the time to just endlessly grind for MUT. I mean, especially me. I mean, I don't even like MUT, so I'm not gonna grind for it. And then what happens is when we do try to play MUT squad games, we get killed because our teams are trash. And so I'd like to be able to see a fair game where you actually can do 2v2s with teams that aren't superly, I guess, unbalanced. Because obviously we could be like the Ravens against the Chiefs, two teams that are close in overall that aren't just massively different with 99 overalls Barry Sanders and 99 overall Michael Vick just running around absolutely utterly killing our 60 overall DBs who have the speed of a grandpa who just walked out of the senior citizen home with his walker attached to him, the cement blocks just attached to his feet. Oh my god. But that's what I'm saying right there. 2v2 online head-to-head mode, make it happen. 3v3, just attach it to there. Already keep the head-to-head mode, but then just add 2v2s and 3v3s. They already have the capabilities with MUT squads. Just add it to online head-to-head. Boom. Easy little fix, easy little change. Already have the capabilities. Just get it done and just make it a fun game mode.
And for me, my point is for franchise, what if you could have two or more friends playing the same franchise as you, but on the same team? Adrian kind of came up with this idea, but what if you could have one be offensive coordinator, the other be defensive coordinator? One takes care of offense, and then the other one plays defense, and it's kind of like offense only, defense only. And while offense is on the field, and if you're defense coordinator, you're just going to spectate, or the other way around.
Or imagine they can do like a like a game plan briefing while you're watching the offense.
True.
Like, okay, they've called this play this many times. Get ready for this. And then you could do like
Kind of have like
a,
a
a
huddle on
yeah,
the
like a huddle defense hype
sideline.
up, get some points like that.
Um,
And then also I'd like to say, maybe you could keep this setting on how there's head coach firing. Because, if you wanted a fun little twist, say me and Gavin's OC, I'm DC. He's offensive coordinator, I'm defensive coordinator, I'm running the defense, he's running the offense. Say we had the number one ranked offense, Gavin's killing it out there, he's doing great. But say I am sucking at defense, I'm letting a bunch of touchdowns up, letting a bunch of yards up, I'm 30th ranked. They could fire me as DC, but keep Gavin as the OC, and then I'd have to go find a brand new team to play as the defensive
and
coordinator,
maybe play
and
against
then we'd have
me.
to build it back up, and then maybe play against him. Yeah, and there'd be a rivalry set up there, a fun little thing there, and then who knows? Maybe I've put it together, I figured it out, and then Gavin could demand release for his team, come to my team, and then we end up winning a Super Bowl together later on. There's fun things with that wouldn't be, I feel like, too hard to make, but it would be just a fun change that would get a lot of people into the game again.
And one other touch onto that is, what if you could have one player be a quarterback, the other one be a receiver? They don't have to be
Yeah,
defensive and offensive coordinators.
play
You could
like
have
player,
it
yeah,
basically
player
just
mode.
like two-player or three-player MUT. It could be whatever.
Or yeah, it
Um,
could be like a player lock franchise, dude. We're on the same team, you get
exactly.
drafted. You're
We
like, I'm
actually
the
did that with
QB,
a
you're the
couple
receiver, you get
friends,
drafted. Yeah.
except on a local Xbox. If you could do that online, that'd be so, so, so good because I do that all the time with my friends. On to the next one. Focus on all game modes, not just MUT. I was thinking about also saying the yard, but I mean, MUT is just the main focus, and I think everyone knows that. Franchise doesn't get the love it deserves, although this year they did get a little bit of love with some good updates like the trade logic and certain other things. But they need to touch on all the game modes, not just MUT. Face of the
Yeah.
franchise gets love at the beginning of the year and then doesn't get touched anymore, and it gets boring. The yard, I mean, I don't like the game mode at all.
And I
Superstar
hate to say it
KO,
because
eh,
Madden's our main game, so EA, sponsors EA, fly us out to LA to play the release. This is constructive criticism, but um, the reason why they hype MUT so much is because MUT brings them in the most money. People buy
no
packs,
doubt.
people buy whatever the heck, I don't know, the money. I don't really play MUT. People just pay money for packs, pay money for players, and that brings them revenue. Upping franchise mode is not going to make them any money. Upping Superstar KO is going to make them any money. Upping the yard is going to make them money. That's why they did the moves with the uniforms. Me and Gavin were talking about this. They didn't actually fix the gameplay or add more cool things within the gameplay, tournaments, stuff like that. They only added the uniforms because people have to pay money to then buy those uniforms. Same thing with buying the packs, buying the cards, buying all this. They want extra money, extra revenue from people that are buying the game. So because franchise people aren't going to pay money, it gets overlooked, which is, sad to say, but
It
that's just the
really is
truth.
sad. Um, on to the next one is more immersion in franchise. I know the picture isn't super duper great. But I mean, it brings a little bit of immersion. This is a face of the franchise, of course. But basically, think about like, what if your top receiver wants to get traded from your? What if he
Yeah,
wants to get
that
traded from
should
your team?
happen.
Yeah, that should be a thing. Every once in a while, a guy wants to get traded. They did do things with this like last year and this year where they added in like the text and stuff.
Breakout
But
scenarios,
yeah,
text, yeah, but
breakouts and
expand on that, make it even better.
exactly. Make it
You can
so when his morale is so low that he wants to get traded or cut.
he wants to leave. Or like say if you have a 9 and overall and you're 4-12 or 4-13 because it's a 17 game season, he wants to leave. Make the personalities actually matter. They have personalities, they just like forget about it. There's the personalities that are like team player,
Yeah, and leader
whatever. Yeah. If you're the guy who's like this should be a one that's like
and like
egotistical.
traits and
The guy
stuff.
loves himself, and if he isn't getting his targets, he wants to leave. He immediately tells you he's not playing. He refuses to leave. So you have to trade him. If a team leader is there, he hypes everyone up and he keeps grinding even if your team is doing bad. Stuff like that.
So it makes those guys
Add
more important.
suspensions. Yeah, add suspensions even. Add revenge games. The guy's playing a team he got traded from or cut from or anything. He should
Sam
get a morale
Darnold.
boost, an overall boost. Yeah, Sam Darnold against the Jets, week one. He should be getting an overall boost, prepared to play against that team because he has a reason to. He has vengeance. Make it more fun. Make the game when you play, make it like your own little universe, your own little NFL, your own little league that actually matters, where things are tied together and things are realistic and fun and immersive. It'd be so sick. Everyone would love it if things just actually matter, where stats were kept. This player played for this team this year. Oh, he got cut. Now he's playing against that team again. He tears it up. A news story. Oh, this guy has played this many seasons. He started out rough. Make like, I don't know. There's so many options they could do. They could expand on things so much if they just actually tried a bit.
Please,
I don't
AA,
know.
sign us and let us work for you, and we will do this stuff for you. Okay, anyway, on to the next one, home advantage. I remember this in NCAA 14. Yes, 7 years ago. That game is still good. Um, Home advantage, basically, when you're like on a big play and the crowd is chanting really, really loud, your routes when you're looking at them, when you hold R2 or RT, um, they'll like shake around. You can't tell the routes because the crowd's so loud. When the crowd's silent, you can see the routes fine. But it makes it so home advantage actually matters. Only the home team doesn't see that. I mean, sorry, only the away team sees that. I kind
You
of
can
explained
even
that the
pump the
wrong
crowd
way.
up.
But exactly, you can
There's
pump the
the
crowd up in
option to
Madden,
pump the crowd up, but it
but it
doesn't do
doesn't do
anything.
anything. Exactly. Like
And
What?
if I can touch something real quick, Evan,
Hmm.
if you remember, like they had the capacity to do this stuff in owner mode. They show you like the attendance rankings, how many people have like this people coming into their games. If you're a bottom, 25, 20 team, you shouldn't have this option. But if you are the top five team in the league with attendance and fans coming to your game, that should be the option. The more fans that are there, the more scrambled your route should be. You know what I'm saying? It should be like something that actually matters. You want players to come to your game, fans to come to your game because then you have this advantage. It matters. You don't want to be in so and so stadium because if it's fourth down with the game on the line, you have to get this win to make the playoffs. You know that everyone in Arrowhead Stadium is going to be screaming their head off to
Or
make
everyone
sure
in
that
the
you throw this
Seahawks stadium,
interception. Yeah.
the 12th man.
Yes,
It makes
exactly. Which
them
makes it way
actually
more fun.
valuable. And yeah,
Yes.
way more fun. And again, another thing that's kind of more immersive into the
Yeah, it
franchise.
can get attached with immersion. My
And
bad.
I believe the next one is in-depth coaching stats, which is also another thing that goes along with immersiveness. Although we kept it as another thing, um, we left the picture as head coach mode, but basically it's just trying to touch on what we're saying. But
I can explain it if you want at the beginning.
sure.
So I kind of thought of this one, in-depth coaching stats. I feel like most people when they play franchise, they're playing as a coach. At least that's what I believe. Some people probably play player mode, but I mean, I guess it fits a player mode too. But coaching mode, what I want is I want stats for my guy, like my coach, to be important and then for them to be advanced. I want to know how many wins I got against all 32 teams, all 31 NFL teams, because obviously not against myself. I want to know my record against the Texans. I want to know my record against the Patriots, against the Packers. I want to see how many games I played against them, how many I've won, how many I've lost. I would like to even see like a score total for every single game I've ever played. I want to know, how many yards I've gotten as a coach in my career, like for calling the plays. How many winning seasons I've had, how many losing seasons, how many Super Bowl runs, how many just like everything like that. Anything you can imagine that would be sick to have. How many times I've called certain formations, like what my style of being a coach is. How many stars I developed. How many MVPs I developed. How many rookie of the years I developed. How good my drafts have been. Things like that.
And I would like to touch on this real quick. I believe this was actually like part of this was actually in Madden like '08 or '06, one of those like down then, back then, whatever. Um, Basically the coaches, right? They would have certain stats on like what you called, and the AI, there'd be like a copycat AI where the copycat AI would call the plays in a certain percentage that you call in your actual games. So this was kind of a thing that they kind of had in a way back in one of those old Maddens.
Man, they even had OTAs in a talk show and freaking training camp and practices. Things like that can be added to just, I don't know. Say maybe the better your coach is, rankings, the more effective your OTAs are, the better the players upgrade. Players want to come to your team in free agency because they know that you can develop them good. Maybe they even keep track of like what positions you develop best, and then that right there is listed. Like, oh, this coach is really good developing QBs. So you'll call Bruce Arians the quarterback whisperer. You could say that about yourself with receivers or running backs if you develop them really well. And then say running backs are really excited to go to your team in the draft or in free agency because they want to get better at their craft. They want to get better at, football because of you. They know you have experience in their field at making those players better. Things like that.
Yeah, it would be a really, really cool touch. And one of the last ones we have is more realistic wide receiver versus DB matchups. I think we all know this one. Like 70% of the times, DBs beat receivers, and they got better
Well, on that, that
catching.
is.
It's so dumb. There needs to be more like, I guess, animations where the receiver's going to catch the ball better, where the DB isn't going to run the route for him unless the DB is literally just tremendously better than the receiver. I don't know. I just don't think this is near realistic in this game where receivers just always get beat by DBs,
I don't
and
know
it
if this is
definitely needs to be
me.
touched.
I don't know if this is me, but I feel like in Madden, one of the problems with the receiver overall is when you have a 99 overall receiver, their hands are good, but their main thing is they're just beating the corner on like deep routes or slant routes. They're getting a beat on them on the very first steps.
Hmm.
It should be more like your receiver is closer, like certain receivers. Say if you're a possession receiver, you got really good hands. you might not beat their cornerback every single time, but I should know I should be able to throw to my guy. And if it's close, he has a very good shot of bringing it down because he has solid hands. Or he's a big receiver. I can throw it higher up there, and he can go up there and he can play for me. Stuff like that. Not just, oh, he ran a fly route, he beat him, now I got to chuck it over his head.
Hmm.
Let him lead him get him a lead, and then have him go score a touchdown for me. It should be
It's
like,
almost
oh,
like a
6 yard
Tyreek Hill
slant
type
route,
thing.
get it to him, 6 yard slant route, get it to him, boom. He brought it in, held it in. Now we're closer to a first down. What a solid, dependable receiver he is. 6'5", 230, big body guy
DK
goes out and makes the
Metcalf.
plays. It
um, but yeah, this needs to be touched on without a doubt. And the last one is Team Creator. I don't know why they removed this, but they
was even in the
did.
games before, yeah. You can make your own team,
Um,
own stadium, own everything.
they got rid of this, and it was good. I mean, it wasn't good, but like it was fine back then. It
I
was
liked
solid.
it.
I liked it
I remember
too.
being. I think I used to do this all the time. Madden 11. It might not have been Madden 11. It might be like Madden 08.
I have no idea which
I was
Madden
like
it
very
was,
young. I was like
but
5. And I used to just play freaking Team Creator all day
it
long.
was a long time ago. But if they could bring this back, it'd be so nice. The
Yeah.
relocation thing that they have now, they haven't changed in years, as probably most of us know.
I feel
And
like
they
franchise hasn't been really touched that much since like
true.
Madden 25. Remember we used to play
Hmm.
Madden
Yep.
25 in your basement, freaking connected franchise. That was
Oh
when
my
it
god.
first like debuted.
We got
And then what
steroids,
has really
bro.
changed? Like there's been some things that have changed, but not really. I
Exactly.
mean, like, come on, dude.
It's disappointing, but Team
I
Creator
mean, at
bring
the
it
end of the day,
back.
though, guys, we sound like we're hating, but at the end, I mean, Madden is basically our favorite game to play, though. So we do love it. It's like a love hate relationship because there is like the possibility to be even better, but overall, it's still a good game that we do enjoy year and year, and we do enjoy making content for as well. So just want to throw that out there so it doesn't sound like we're just hating completely.
We're not
Just
just
trying to help it
hating.
get better.
We love this
Yeah.
game, but there's some things that it definitely needs to improve on,
Yeah.
and we're just trying to list them here. And like I said, there can be a part two. Although these are the
Let us know,
main
especially as
ideas.
like, we close in closer to the release date.
Hmm. But that's gonna be it for the video, guys. We'll see
Thank you
you
for
guys
watching,
next
guys.
time. Like, subscribe, comment, all that
All that good
stuff.
stuff.
And yeah, peace.
Peace out.